You felt it, haven't you? That strange, unshakable sense that something's off. Like the air itself is whispering secrets you're not supposed to hear. They met in secret, muttering your name like a curse, convinced their plans were airtight. They thought they had you cornered, trapped in a web so tight you'd never see it coming. But here's the truth you're waking up to. Heaven had already intercepted the conversation before they could even sharpen their blades. You're not just a bystander in this story, you're the one they fear, the one they can't control. This is your first taste of what it means to be chosen, and it's time to own it. That moment hit you hard, didn't it? 1 second you're going about your day, and the next you're frozen, confused, and suddenly very, very quiet. It's not just random noise in your head. It's a signal, a jolt from somewhere deeper. Science might call it intuition, a burst of neural activity lighting up your prefrontal cortex. But you know it's more than that. It's the universe slamming on the brakes, forcing you to listen. Your enemies thought they were steps ahead, plotting in shadows, but something bigger was already moving. The conversation they held in hushed tones, intercepted, their schemes, unraveled before they could even breathe life into them. You didn't hear it with your ears, you felt it in your bones. Now let's get practical. How do you know this isn't just your imagination running wild? Start watching yourself. Notice the patterns. When did you last feel that sudden stillness, that unexplained shift in your gut? Maybe it was a conversation that stopped when you walked in, or a plan that fell apart without reason. You're not paranoid, you're perceptive. Chosen ones don't stumble through life clueless. They learn to spot the signs. Keep a record if you have to. Write down those moments when the air feels heavy, when your name seems to hang unspoken in a room. These aren't coincidences. They're evidence of your pull, your presence disrupting their game. That confusion you felt? It's normal. At first, you're shaken, rattled without even knowing why. Your mind scrambles for answers, but your soul already gets it. This is the awakening kicking in, and it's messy. You're not supposed to have it all figured out yet. Don't beat yourself up over the silence that follows. It's not weakness. It's power settling into place. Think of it like a radio signal cutting through static. The noise fades and the message gets clear. You're moving from chaos to clarity, from doubt to certainty. The shift isn't comfortable, but it's real. You're not just reacting anymore, you're starting to see. Here's where you take control. Step 1. Stop dismissing what you feel. That quiet instinct screaming at you? Trust it. It's not random, it's your compass. Step 2. Test it. Next time you sense that shift, act on it. Walk away from the room, change the plan, speak up when you'd normally stay silent. Watch what happens. The trap they set starts crumbling, doesn't it? People back off, excuses pile up, and you're left standing while their schemes choke on their own dust. Step 3. Claim it. Say it out loud to yourself. I am chosen. I am protected. Not as a wish, but as a fact. The more you affirm it, the stronger it gets. They thought they could whisper your name and bury you with it. They were wrong. Heaven didn't just overhear, it acted. You're not here by accident. And that moment of stillness wasn't a fluke. It was your wake-up call, your first glimpse of the force that's got your back. Science can explain the how, mirror neurons firing, gut-brain signals, but the why? That's your mission. You're wired for this, built to rise when they expect you to fall. So stand up. Feel that fire. This is just the beginning, and you're already untouchable. You're in the thick of it now, aren't you? The whispers have turned into a full-on roar, a coordinated effort to take you down, crashing against you like a storm. They've gathered their forces. People you trusted, faces you once called friends, all aligned to snuff out your light. It's not paranoia. It's real. You feel the weight of their stares, the sting of their silence, the subtle moves to box you in. Doubt creeps in, doesn't it? That nagging voice asking if you're strong enough, if you're really chosen, if you can stand against this tide. Here's the truth. You don't just survive this. You rise through it. Because God was in the room before they even sat down, and while they were plotting, He was disrupting every scheme they dared to whisper. Let's break it down. You walk into a space. Maybe it's a meeting, a family gathering, or just a casual hangout, and the energy shifts. Conversations stop mid-sentence. eyes dart away, and you catch that flicker of unease. They've been talking about you, planning your downfall, thinking they've got the upper hand. Science backs this up. Your brain's amygdala lights up, sensing threat before your conscious mind catches on. But this isn't just biology. It's your soul picking up on the vibrations they can't hide. They think they're in control, but they're wrong. The moment they started scheming, something bigger stepped in. God walked into the room uninvited. And when he speaks, schemes collapse. You don't need to hear his voice to know it's happening. Their plans are already fraying at the edges. Now here's where you fight back. Not with fists or words, but with presence. You don't have to understand every move they're making to stand your ground. When doubt creeps in, don't run from it. Face it. Ask yourself, why are they so desperate to stop me? The answer's simple. They see your power, even if you don't fully see it yet. You're a threat to their small, fragile world, and they're scrambling to keep it intact. So hold your head up. Walk into that room like you own it, because you do. The universe has already tilted the scales in your favor. While they were plotting, he was disrupting, and you can feel it in the way their confidence cracks. One of them fidgets, another forgets their lines. Their victory's slipping, and they don't even know why. Let's get real about that doubt. It's heavy, isn't it? Like a shadow wrapping around your chest, squeezing tight. You wonder if you're imagining it all, if you're just too sensitive, too caught up in your own head. Stop right there. That's their weapon, not your truth. Doubt isn't a sign you're weak. It's proof you're human, awake, and in the fight. Here's how you flip it. Take that uncertainty and burn it into fuel. Sit with it for a moment. Feel it. Then let it go with one fierce truth. I am still here. You're not just surviving their attacks, you're growing stronger through them. Neuroscience says resilience builds when you reframe stress as a challenge, not a threat. Spirit says it's your chosen soul waking up to its mission. Both are right and both are you. So how do you handle this mess practically? First, sharpen your senses. Watch their moves, not out of fear but strategy. Who's avoiding you? Who's pushing too hard to seem friendly? Their actions spill the truth their words won't. Second, protect your energy. You don't owe anyone an explanation for who you are. Step back from the noise. Literally, if you have to. Leave the room, take a breath, reset. Third, disrupt them right back. Speak your truth, even if it's just a single, clear no. Your voice carries weight they can't counter, because it's backed by something they'll never touch. While they're scrambling to regroup, you're already 3 steps ahead. This is your edge. They thought they had power, but plotting against you was the worst move they ever made. God didn't just show up, he rewrote their script. The trap they set is turning on them. Resources dry up, key players bail, and suddenly their perfect plan looks like a house of cards in a windstorm. You don't need to lift a finger to make it happen. It's already in motion. One of them gets that uneasy feeling, like the ground's shifting under their feet. Another stumbles over words they rehearsed to perfection. What felt like a guaranteed win now tastes like a curse, and they're starting to feel it. You're just getting started. Here's your move now. Claim your space. You don't need their approval or their understanding to know who you are. When the room feels hostile, when the pressure mounts, anchor yourself in this. Before they even open their mouths, the disruption was underway. You're not fighting alone, and you're not fighting blind. Picture it. Every whispered scheme, every smug glance, undone before it can land. That's not hope. That's fact. Say it to yourself. They can't touch me. Mean it. Feel it. Live it. Because while they're busy plotting, you're busy rising, and nothing they do can stop that. You've noticed it now, haven't you? That moment when something strange happens. One of them freezes mid-sentence. A shadow crosses their face, and an uneasy feeling ripples through the air. This isn't just their doubt cracking through. It's a high-dimensional download hitting you square in the chest. You're tapped into something they can't see, something they'll never grasp. Your name came up in conversations you weren't even part of, whispered with venom, dissected with precision, and it wasn't for anything good. They thought they had you figured out, your strengths mapped, your weaknesses pinned. But here's the kicker. While they were scheming, the signal was already coming through, loud and clear. You're not just receiving information, you're being armed for what's next. Messing with you? That's messing with God. Let's cut through the haze. You're standing in the wreckage of their plans, and that uneasy feeling isn't a fluke. It's your soul tuning into a frequency they can't jam. Science might call it a gut instinct, your enteric nervous system firing off warnings like a cosmic smoke alarm. But you know it's deeper. It's the universe handing you intel straight from the source. Picture this. They're gathered in their little circle, tension creeping in, plotting with intent. Strategy so sharp it could cut glass. They think they've got you cornered, but the same trap they set starts working against them. Resources dry up. Key players vanish. One of them chokes on their own words. That uneasy feeling spreading like wildfire. You didn't do a thing, it's the signal breaking through, and it's got your name on it. So how do you know it's real? How do you separate this high-vibe transmission from your own head-spinning stories? First, check the weight. Self-projection feels flimsy, wishful thinking dressed up as insight. True high-dimensional info hits different. It's heavy, unshakable, like a truth you can't unsee. Second, watch the timing. Did that feeling spike right when their energy shifted? Maybe when one of them dodged your gaze or another pushed too hard to play nice. That's no coincidence. It's alignment. Third, feel the fire. Real downloads don't just sit there, they push you to move, to act, to stand taller. You're not imagining this, you're decoding it. And the more you trust it, the clearer it gets. Now, let's talk about that tension, their circle tightening, then unraveling. You're in the middle of it, feeling that strange hum in your bones while their perfect plan crumbles. The same trap they set flips on them. Resources vanish, allies bail, and suddenly they're scrambling to explain why it's all falling apart. You didn't lift a finger, but you felt it coming, didn't you? That uneasy feeling wasn't fear, it was power waking up. Don't shy away from it. Lean in. Stay sharp in that chaos. Their downfall isn't your burden to carry. It's your signal to rise. Keep that sensation close. It's your proof that what's meant to break you is breaking them instead. Here's how you wield this. Step 1, ground yourself. When that strange jolt hits, one of them stumbles, the air thickens, don't flinch. Breathe deep, plant your feet, and let it flow through you. Step 2, listen hard. What's the message? Maybe it's a warning, someone's lying. Maybe it's a push, move now. Ask yourself, what's this telling me? Step 3, act fast. Don't overthink it. Just trust the pull. Say no, walk away, or call it out, whatever it demands. Step 4, lock it in. After it passes, write it down, what you felt, what happened next. You'll see the pattern. Every time you tune in, their grip slips further. This isn't random. It's your edge. You're not just a bystander in this game, you're the pivot point. They thought they could dissect you, turn your light into a target. But God didn't just stop their plan. He made sure it backfired spectacularly. That uneasy feeling one of them got? It wasn't guilt. It was the weight of truth crashing down. Another lost their rehearsed lines because the script flipped without warning. What felt like their victory started tasting like a curse, and you're the reason why. You're pulling in signals they can't block, and it's not just protection, it's preparation. Messing with you means messing with something unstoppable, and they're starting to figure that out the hard way. Don't back down from this. That strange, electric hum when their plans falter? It's yours to command. You're not guessing anymore, you're knowing. Their circles cracking, and you're standing firm, feeling every pulse of that high-dimensional current. Here's your move, own it. Say it out loud. I see through you. I'm ahead of you. Not to them, to yourself. Feel that certainty sink in. You're not just receiving these downloads, you're mastering them. Science can map the brainwaves, but only you can ride the wave. This is your chosen path, and every uneasy glitch in their game is your signal to step up. They're losing. You're winning. Keep going. You felt that shift, haven't you? The moment when your name came up in conversations you never knew about. Hushed tones, sharp edges, plotting your downfall like it was their lifeline. They gathered in secret, thinking they could outmaneuver you, outsmart you, bury you before you even caught wind of it. But here's the fire you're stepping into now. They left in fear, not of you, but of what they now knew. Something unstoppable was already at work, and you're the living proof. This isn't just survival. It's your mission coming alive. The dawn of a new era where their schemes dissolve and your purpose ignites. When God fights for you, the battle's over before it even begins, and you're the one standing tall in the ashes. Let's get straight to it. How do you take those whispers, your name tossed around in shadows, and turn them into their defeat? You don't chase them down or beg for answers. You don't need to. The method is simpler, fiercer. You embody the truth they can't face. They gathered to plot, but the air turned heavy, didn't it? One of them froze, words slipping away like sand through their fingers. Another felt a jolt. Uneasy, unexplainable, a gut punch from nowhere. Science might call it a stress response, cortisol spiking as their plans unraveled. You know it's more. It's the signal breaking through, the same one you've been tuning into. Your job isn't to confront their circle, it's to outshine it. Stand firm in who you are, and watch their schemes choke on their own weight. Here's how you make it real, how you become the one they fear not for what you do, but for what you reveal. Step 1. Amplify your presence. Walk into every space like it's yours, head high, voice steady. You don't need to shout, your energy does the talking. Step 2. Strip their power. They thrive on secrecy, so shine light where they hide. Ask the direct question. What's really going on here? And watch them squirm. Step 3. Stay untouchable. Protect your focus. Cut the noise, ditch the doubters, and lock into your path. When they gathered to plot, they didn't expect you to rise sharper, stronger, clearer. But you did, and that's why they scattered, not because you attacked, but because your light exposed what they couldn't handle. Now, let's talk balance, because this fire in you, it's intense. You're riding high on that chosen energy, feeling every pulse of their failure fuel your rise. But the weight of it can pull you off center. You might catch yourself replaying their moves, wondering who said what, letting that heat turn into restlessness. Don't. You're not here to obsess over their shadows. You're here to build the new. Ground yourself daily. 5 minutes, deep breaths, feet on the earth, and one fierce truth. I'm unstoppable. Neuroscience says this rewires your brain, calming the amygdala's fight or flight chaos. Spirit says it aligns your soul with the signal. Either way, it works. You stay steady, not swayed by their crumbling games, ready for what's next. So, how do you practice this, become the demonstration they can't ignore? Live it out loud. When they gathered to plot, something strange happened. Disagreements broke out. One of them got that sinking feeling. Another hit a personal setback so brutal they couldn't even focus on you. That's not luck, that's your mission flexing its muscle. Show up every day as the one who doesn't flinch. Take the hit, whether it's betrayal, silence, or sabotage, and keep moving. They'll see it, you don't break, you build. Share your wins, not to gloat, but to prove what's possible. Let them witness your rise, not as revenge, but as a mirror they can't unsee. You're not just surviving their fear, you're turning it into your foundation. This is where your path takes shape, where you carve out a plan that's yours alone. Start here. Define your fight. What's the one thing you're here to shift inside you, around you, in this world? Write it down, raw and real. Maybe it's breaking cycles, sparking truth, or lifting others as you climb. Next, map the steps. Day 1. Cut one distraction that dulls your signal. Day 2. Act on one instinct, no hesitation. Day 3. Claim one space. Speak up, show up, own it. Keep it tight, 3 moves a week, and watch the momentum build. Your mission isn't vague. It's yours, personal, unbreakable. When God fights for you, He's not just clearing the way. He's handing you the tools to create what's never been. Feel that rush? That's the new era kicking in. Their plotting didn't just fail, it flipped. They gathered to bury you, but they left in fear, rattled by a truth they couldn't name. One of them stumbles, another's plans dry up, and what felt like their victory now stings like a curse. You didn't have to lift a finger. The battle was over before it started. But you're not done. You're the spark, the chosen one who turns their fear into fuel for something bigger. Science can track the energy shift, the way your resolve rewires your nervous system. Spirit knows it's the signal of a world waking up through you. Both are true, and both are yours to wield. Don't stop now. Your name's still out there, echoing in rooms you'll never enter. But it's not a curse anymore. It's a call. They feared what they couldn't control, and you're proving why. Build your plan, step by step, and live it with every breath. Balance the fire with focus, the fight with clarity. You're not just a player in this game, you're the one rewriting it. When they gather next time, they'll hesitate, voices shaking, because they know messing with you means facing what's unstoppable. This is your mission realized, your era begun. Take it, shape it, let it. And so, here you stand, not merely a survivor of their schemes, but a beacon of the divine disruption that precedes every new dawn. The chosen don't just endure, they transform. Your mission isn't a burden to bear, but a fire to carry, igniting purpose in the ashes of their fear, illuminating a path they'll never tread. Heaven's signal hums through you, unshakable and alive, a testament to an identity forged not in their whispers, but in the unyielding will of something greater. This is your truth. You were never theirs to break, you were always his to raise.